The 7C is all about factoring. We have three types of factoring today. We have sum and difference of cubes, difference of squares, and perfect square trinomials. We'll just jump right into it. We're going to do sum of cubes. Sum of cubes, the general formula is right here. So the problem will start out similar to the a to the third plus b to the third, and then you need to factor this into a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. So let's jump right into it. How we do this? When you're factoring, you look at the first term and we cube root that. The cube root of 8x to the cube is 2x. That's your first term, and that's what we're going to say our a is in the formula. The second term is 125. Cube root of 125 is 5. That's your b in the formula. When I say the formula, this is the formula I'm talking about. So, to factor this, we're just looking at the right side of the formula now. We have a plus b, so a is 2x plus the b, 5. Now we do the a squared. You gotta be careful with this a squared. It's all of a squared. So a is 2x. Now we're going to square that. Minus a times b plus b squared. So again, I'll put b in parentheses. Now I just need to simplify this and we're done. So 2x plus 5. 2x squared means 2x times 2x, so that's really 4x squared. 2x times 5 is 10x, and 5 squared is 25. So 8x cubed plus 125 factors down to 2x plus 5 times 4x squared minus 10x plus 25. So there is a mnemonic device that we can use to help you memorize the formula, and it's called SOAP. And how SOAP works, is the S in SOAP, the O in SOAP, and the AP in SOAP have to do with the signs. So the S stands for same. So if it's a sum of cubes, the first sign is always plus. If it is a sum of cubes, the second sign is always opposite. And the last sign is always positive, no matter if it's sum of cubes or difference of cubes. This is always positive. So if you just remember SOAP and what they stand for, it makes it a little easier. So let's dive into another problem here. Let's use SOAP. And in this problem, maybe you remember, but one thing you do have to be careful of is GCF. So first, always look for GCF. We did in the last problem, I was just getting you started with this sum of cubes. So always, always, always when you're factoring, look for GCF, greatest common factor. So between 32x cubed and 108, what is the greatest common factor? We can take out 2 out of each, 4 out of each, and I believe that's where we stop, it's at 4. So you take a 4 out, and what's left is 8x cubed plus 27. Now, we started with a factoring, we're not done. What we have in the inside, in red, 8x cubed plus 27, that could be factored further. And this is the part that we're going to use SOAP with. So, if we look at it, we cube root the first term again. First term, cube root of 8x cubed is 2x. Cube root the second term, cube root of 27 is 3. So the first term is your A, second term is your B. And we're factoring this now when we write this out. So if I carry it over here, equals 4 times, we're going to do the signs. So this is a plus, so the first sign is same, always a plus. If this is a plus, the second sign is always opposite. And the last sign is always positive. What goes in between? Always the same. It's A plus B, and it's A squared minus A times B, and then B squared. So that part is always the same. So let's simplify this down. We have 4 times 2x plus 3. 2x squared becomes 4x squared. 2x times 2x. We have 2x times 3, 6x. 3 squared is 9. And this is completely factored with the GCF. Take the GCF out always, if possible. Okay, let's work on difference of cubes. Difference of cubes, same as sum of cubes, just with a subtraction between. So the formula still the same, AB, A squared, AB, B squared. It's always the same sign, opposite sign, always positive. So let's break it into factoring. So I have 4x cubed minus 500. They're both even. I know they're both divisible by 2. And then I divide them both by 4, and that works too. So take out your GCF first. So your greatest common factor is 4. You have x cubed minus 125. On the inside here, this is about the difference of cubes. You break it down, cube root of x to the third is x. Cube root of 125 is 5. So we have x is A. That's always your first. B is 5. So we have 4 times x, same sign. X squared, that's A squared. That's the opposite sign, so it's plus. A times B. X times 5. And then plus B squared. A lot of parentheses, not needed for all those, but they do help sometimes. Simplify this. X squared is, x squared. X times 5 is 5x. 5 squared is 25. So I just simplified it down. So anytime you see a problem that has 2 terms and there's a cube, you should always be aware that you could be factoring using sum or difference of cubes. That is your key. There's 2 terms, like here, and there's a cube. There's 2 terms in a cube, more likely than not, you're going to use sum or difference of cubes. We move on, we have difference of squares. You see it, there are 2 terms here, and now we have squared. So now we're not going to use sum and difference of cubes formula. It's going to be a little easier formula. So I just changed the problem on you. It was x squared plus 9. I realized that's not right. Change it to 4x squared minus 9. So a difference of squares. Now we see that it's a square. Now what you do is square root the first term. Square root of 4x squared is 2x. Square the second term. Square root of 9 is 3. Now, when we look at factoring this, you have 2x and 3, and there's going to be another one, 2x, 3, another factor. And what you do, they're opposite signs. One minus, one's plus. And that's it. that easy, no GCF, there happened to be no GCF on that problem, that's all you have to do. Second one, again, if you see a binomial, two terms, and there's a square, more likely than not, you're gonna be using sum or difference of squares here. So first thing you need to look at, 32x squared and 18, both are divisible by 2, not by 4, so just 2. So take your GCF out, greatest common factor. Okay, divide the 2 out of each term. This is the GCF. And now what's on the inside of the parentheses, I need to, so what I do with the GCF, it's kind of like undistributed. Now what's underneath in the parentheses, take in, just like I did on the last example, square root of 16x squared, 4x, square root of 9, 3. So, to completely factor this, you have 4x and 3, the minus, and 4x, change the sign. And that is the shortcut to factor perfect square binomial. Moving on. So I was going to move on, but we'll just cap it right here. When you come into class, your quiz will be on factoring x squared minus 16. So you'll break this up. It's your factors. And so that, you bring that in class. Come to class questions, we'll practice in class, and I'll help you out throughout the class. Thank you.